The second game I had, which wound up being the first official game that counted for the tournament, was against the Second Coming, Gargle Flop. I was about to say his real name, but I guess not. I don't know if he wants that. So I'm leading off with Scarf Blades again as usual, and he's got a Celebi lead. So first things first, I don't care if he has a Heatran. I don't care if he has something that times for Kingdra. I'm just going to go right for a Flare Blitz and just deal as much damage as I possibly can during the first turn. And he winds up going into a Drifblim, which doesn't take Flare Blitz very well, and in fact dies. And that's actually a big thing to get killed, because there goes his Ghost type, which means Zangoose is going to be good to go. And then he brings in a Heatran, which makes me think, why didn't you switch that in the first place? But maybe he was afraid of a fighting move. Maybe he was afraid of, I don't know, agility or something. But he has Earth Power on his Heatran, which means it's probably Scarf or a Spec set, maybe. I don't know. It didn't do very much, so I would assume Scarf at this point. But I'm going to throw it at Toxic, because if I'm assuming it's Choice, I'm assuming it's going to switch. And I nail a Spiritomb on the switch, which that's pretty sweet. Spiritomb's kind of annoying. Another Ghost, by the way, which I have to get out of the way before Zangoose can come in. And I stayed in this turn to Soft Boiled, expecting him to Pain Split and expecting to be slower, but he tricks me a Choice Band and he wound up being faster, so I waste the turn. My Blissey gets a Choice Band for no reason, and that sucked. I switch out because Blissey doesn't want to be stuck into anything, really. And he wound up going back to Celebi, so we were in the leadoff situation again. And this time, I thought about going for a fighting move. Didn't want to commit to that, though. Give Heatran a Flash Fire boost, I don't care, really, because I have a Blissey. And because I have a Blissey, he's just going to explode, because he knows he can't do anything. He knows I'm going to go into Blissey. And, wow, that hurts a lot. I managed to hang on, but not with very much. And this Bliss is kind of useless. It was useless as soon as it got tricked. So if it's able to eat an explosion from an OU dude in mixed tier, that's pretty good. Celebi comes in, finishes me off with U-turn, which makes me think that that's, and it was Life Orb, so that makes me assume it's Second's world famous physical Celebi, which I've actually used before, and it's actually quite good. He goes back into Spiritomb, which is Toxic, and Blaziken's going to come in. I didn't expect a Flare Blitz to kill it, honestly. It's a lot bulkier than Drifblim, even though it has a lot less hit points, but he Sucker Punches and knocks me into Blaze, which I think was the determining factor on whether he lived or died, because Spiritomb's a pretty bulky dude. But nonetheless, both of our UU guys go down, and I think it's 4-on-3 at this point. I'm going to go right into my OU, and this is kind of scary. I know Bullet Punch won't one-shot it, and I know that Ambipom can pack Fire Punch. It's very rare, but I have seen it once or twice, so that kind of made me hesitant to stay in, but I figured if I can get this Ambipom dead, he probably doesn't have a whole lot left. Like, I think he's just got 2 NUs. But he knocks off my Choice Band, and now I can freely switch moves should I want to. He goes into a Licky after Ambipom dies, and I'm afraid of Fire Blast. Go to Slowbro, winds up missing, and now I've just got to watch out for that thing exploding, because he wouldn't run a Licky unless it was exploding. I'm going to go for a T-Wave, because I think that Licky's probably Scarfed. Celebi comes in, scared of, obviously, Leaf Storm, or I guess in this case Seed Bomb, and Sizer eats that up quite nicely. Celebi doesn't have a physical fire move, and I'm not expecting him to be mixed if he's going to be physical. So I'm just going to be able to go for a safe U-turn, get out of here, and now something has to die. I could switch back into Sizer, but I honestly think that thing would die too, even though it's max HP. I figured my best chance of having anything to live is Slowbro, but obviously a 300 base power stab explosion, even though it's off of a pretty admittedly piddly attack stat, you know, it's going to kill Slowbro. But at this point the game's pretty much locked up. All he's got left is Celebi, and I've got Sizer, so unless he's got a sneak hidden power fire, in which case this would get pretty interesting, but not the case, and I'm able to U-turn it away. I still had Zangoose left, and I think I still had Espeon with Signal Beam, so the game was really over. Never mind. I guess he could have Sucker Punched Espeon, and I don't know. The game is over. I win, and good game second. It was a lot of fun playing you. And it sucks that your team didn't work out. Your Drifblim Definitely could have done a lot more damage, but just didn't quite work out. And I think the next game is against Makar, and that's always a challenge. It's always fun playing Makar, except for the times that it isn't. And yeah, we'll see how that one goes.